Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Patrick Adiarte, legendary dancer of The King and I and pioneering Asian American icon, dies at 81. Patrick Adiarte, the Filipino-American dancer who captivated audiences with his inspiring performance in The King and I, 1956, and left a lasting impression with his roles in the Brady Bunch and MASH, passed away on April 16, 2025 at the age of 81 after a long battle with illness. His passing was confirmed by close friends on social media, marking the end of a vibrant but tumultuous chapter in the legacy of an Asian American cultural icon. Born in Manila on August 2, 1943, Adiarte immigrated to the United States as a child and quickly rose to fame on both Broadway and Hollywood for his natural talent for dance. Famed choreographer Gene Kelly once hailed him as the next Fred Astaire after a stunning performance together on Omnibus. Although he never took formal acting lessons, Adiarte learned by doing, guided by his mother, a ballet dancer who instilled in him a passion for movement at a young age. His intensity, discipline, and radiant stage presence made him one of the few Asian faces to shine in mainstream American entertainment during a time of cultural prejudice. However, his journey was not without its difficulties. A tragic sports car accident left Adiarte with a fractured skull and multiple ribs, forcing him to take a long break from acting. Although he returned as a dancer on the hit TV show Hullabaloo, he gradually retreated from the spotlight, instead choosing a quiet life dedicated to teaching and inspiring the next generation. The passing of Patrick Adiarte leaves a deep sense of loss for those who admired his artistry and spirit. While he may have left the stage, his legacy of talent, resilience, and cultural impact continues to shine. We honor him, a man who danced with all his heart and lived life without missing a beat.
Could have taken that match away from you, just like what a feeling of power that is. Wouldn't have been very nice. DeVores, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Game show legend's glorious run ends at 91. Wink Martindale, the beloved host, whose voice, warmth, and wit lit up American living rooms for decades, passed away at the age of 91 on April 15, 2025. He passed away peacefully on Tuesday at Eisenhower Health in Rancho Mirage, California, after a courageous year-long battle with lymphoma. His passing was confirmed by longtime public relations expert Brian Mays, who shared that Wink was full of life and hope until just a few weeks before his death. Born Winston Conrad Martindale in Jackson, Tennessee, on December 4, 1933, Wink's love of microphones began in childhood. 2 paper cups and a cord were his first radio. That childhood dream blossomed into a lucrative career. At just 17, he became a radio DJ and soon found himself at the center of music history, at WHBQ in Memphis, the night Elvis Presley's first record was played. Wink arranged one of the first television interviews with a young Elvis, beginning a lifelong relationship with the king of rock and roll. Wink's journey was not without its struggles. Shows were canceled, trends changed, and health battles arose. But through each setback, he persevered. His career took off with Gambit and Tic-Tac-Dough, where his charm turned contestants into stars and everyday moments into unforgettable TV magic. Behind the camera, Wink was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather. He is survived by his wife of 49 years, Sandy, 3 daughters, and many loving grandchildren. Although his time on Earth has ended, his legacy, his laughter, his light, and his love for connecting with others lives on. Wink Martindale was more than just a game show host. He made millions of people feel like they were part of something fun, and for that, he will always be missed.
To be honest with you, when I found out Cat Williams was coming, I got excited.
Wanda Smith was a beloved icon of Atlanta's airwaves, known for bringing warmth, laughter, and connection to listeners for over 2 decades. As co-host of the widely popular Frank and Wanda in the Morning on V103, she became a comforting voice in the homes and cars of countless Atlantans. Her presence left an indelible mark on the hearts of the community, colleagues, and the entertainment world. Born in Miami, Wanda found her calling in radio in 1997 and soon became a staple of Atlanta broadcasting. Her influence extended beyond the studio. She was a gifted comedian, with writing credits on Def Comedy Jam and roles in Tyler Perry's Madea Goes to Jail and Madea's Witness Protection. With her wit, honesty, and generous spirit, she uplifted others and nurtured new talent, earning admiration from fans and fellow entertainers alike. Behind her ever-radiant smile, Wanda quietly endured years of health struggles. She underwent surgeries for ovarian abscesses and diverticulitis, but kept her battles private, never seeking pity. Friends recall her resilience, dignity, and refusal to burden others. Even in hardship, she remained a pillar of strength and grace. Wanda Smith passed away on October 12, 2024, just one day after celebrating her 58th birthday. Her memorial was filled with love from family, friends, and fans who came to honor a life that gave so much. Wanda's legacy is more than her voice. It is her heart, her humor, and her unwavering love for Atlanta.
They all had such bad experiences, and because of their nature, every single one of them, despite their spikes.
Documentary filmmaker Andrea Nevins, known for her compassionate perspective and poignant stories, died Saturday at her home in Los Angeles, surrounded by her family and beloved dogs. She was 63 and had bravely battled breast cancer. Her passing marks the loss of a profound voice in the world of nonfiction filmmaking, one dedicated to telling stories of transition, identity, and quiet resilience. Born in New York in 1962 to a surgeon father and an art curator mother, Andrea was a dancer, poet, swimmer, and student leader before graduating magna cum laude from Harvard University. She began her career as a journalist, winning an Emmy at ABC News before moving into documentaries. Her first film, Still Kicking, a tribute to aging cabaret dancers, earned an Oscar nomination. Andrea has a gift for highlighting lives in motion: punk rockers becoming fathers, The Other F Word, aging athletes, Play It Forward, or the legacy of Barbie, Tiny Shoulders. Behind her artistic success is a quiet strength. Even as she battled illness, Andrea continued to create, completing her final film, The Cowboy and the Queen, in 2023. She navigated the pressures of the film industry, the emotional pain of cancer, and the demands of motherhood with grace and determination. Andrea is also a passionate community builder, co-founding schools, supporting women and girls in LA, and helping shape her synagogue. She is survived by her husband, David Nevins, and their 3 children. Though her voice has been silenced, the stories she told will resonate through the generations, tender testimonies of humanity, dignity, and hope. A journey that spanned more than 8 decades of passion, grace, and unwavering dedication to the arts has come to a close. Nino Bellomo, the cherished patriarch of Agrigento's theater and a beacon of Italian cultural life, has passed away at the age of 102. An actor, journalist, and refined soul, Bellomo lived a life steeped in creativity, touched by both triumph and sorrow, including the heartbreaking loss of his daughter Virginia. Through it all, he remained a figure of elegance, resilience, and quiet strength. Bellomo made his stage debut on April 21, 1940, as a young student performing beneath the Temple of Concordia. A year later, he stepped onto the stage of Agrigento's Regina Margherita Theatre, now the Teatro Pirandello, beginning a lifelong journey across Italy's most prestigious theaters. He performed alongside great actors such as Michele Placido and was directed by Alberto Cerroni in an episode of Inspector Montalbano. Deeply connected to Pirandellian drama, Bellomo became a living testament to the enduring power of Sicilian storytelling. On his 100th birthday, he said, "Life only has meaning if we can give something to others." Nino Bellomo gave generously through his art, his spirituality, and his profound emotional depth. He leaves behind his son Francesco, now artistic director of the Teatro Pirandello, and a legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come.
Try and make all my business calls, Pete, after 1 o'clock because it's good business.
It's also cheaper.
That's why it's good.
Lee Montague, the BAFTA-winning actor whose career spanned over 6 remarkable decades, has passed away at the age of 97. Known not only for his powerful stage and screen performances but also for his deep love of literature and community, Montague leaves behind a legacy of artistic excellence and personal generosity. From early roles at the Old Vic to Broadway and television, he brought emotional depth, charisma, and dedication to every part he played. Born Leonard Goldberg in East London in 1927 to Lithuanian and Russian immigrant parents, Montague trained at the Old Vic School and emerged as a post-war theater pioneer. He starred alongside legends like Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh, and went on to deliver unforgettable performances in Brother Sun, Sister Moon, Jesus of Nazareth, The Iceman Cometh, and as the first storyteller on BBC's Jackanory, for which he won a BAFTA. On stage, his Iago, Volpone, and Shylock were lauded for their nuance and power. Behind the spotlight, Lee battled the quiet trials of aging and personal loss with the same dignity he brought to his craft. After the death of his wife, actress Ruth Goring, in 2023, he continued to live in Hampstead, dedicating his time to saving the Keats Community Library, where he served as president for life. He remained intellectually and socially active, organizing literary events well into his 90s. Lee Montague died peacefully on March 30th, 2025. He is survived by his children, Danny and Sophie. As tributes pour in from across the industry, he is remembered not just as a consummate performer, but as a man of warmth, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to art and community.
We write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids.
Danny DeVito, a lifetime of laughter, legacy, and unyielding spirit. Born Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. On November 17, 1944, in Neptune Township, New Jersey, Danny DeVito was raised in a close-knit Italian-American household where warmth, wit, and tradition shaped his early world. Despite his shorter stature, Danny's energy filled any room he entered. From a young age, his parents recognized and nurtured his gift for performance, encouraging him to pursue the arts. At Our Lady of Mount Carmel boarding school, he was immersed in a disciplined environment that honed both his work ethic and his love for storytelling. It was here, amidst the structured chaos of adolescence, that Danny began to form the comedic edge and emotional depth that would one day captivate millions. After high school, DeVito enrolled at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, determined to transform his passion into a sustainable career. There, he sharpened his acting techniques and expanded his understanding of stagecraft. Surrounded by creative peers and inspiring mentors, he came to value collaboration and resilience in a competitive industry. Though early progress was slow, Danny embraced every opportunity, small roles, auditions, workshops, with the persistence of someone who knew his time would come. His distinctive blend of humor and sincerity gradually began to resonate with audiences, helping him stand out in an era teeming with aspiring actors. Danny's breakthrough came with the film adaptation of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, reprising a role he had played on stage. The movie gave him Hollywood visibility, but it was his performance as the brash yet lovable Louis De Palma on the sitcom Taxi, 1978 to 1983, that made him a household name. His portrayal earned him a Golden Globe and an Emmy, firmly establishing his signature style: bold, unfiltered, yet somehow always endearing. In the wake of Taxi's success, DeVito transitioned into feature films with a wave of momentum, often cast as the quick-witted schemer who could steal scenes with a single glance or line. The 1980s marked an explosive period in DeVito's career, with roles in box office hits like Romancing the Stone and The Jewel of the Nile. He proved his comedic chops could match Hollywood's biggest stars. He wasn't just an actor, he was a presence. At the same time, DeVito ventured into directing, debuting with the dark comedy Throw Mama from the Train in 1987. The film's success revealed another facet of his talent, as he continued to blend humor with eccentric storytelling. His comedic pairing with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins showcased his ability to play off physical contrasts while delivering heartfelt, laugh-out-loud moments, an unlikely duo that became iconic. The 1990s saw DeVito expanding his range even further. He took a villainous turn as the Penguin in Batman Returns, proving that his quirky intensity could be channeled into darker roles. He directed and starred in Matilda, a heartfelt adaptation of Roald Dahl's novel, which resonated with both children and adults for its charm and emotional depth. His role as a slick Hollywood producer in Get Shorty allowed him to satirize the industry he knew so well, adding a self-aware layer to his filmography. Throughout the decade, he also lent his voice to animated features like Hercules, further establishing his place in pop culture. Yet behind the laughter and success were moments of difficulty. DeVito has spoken candidly about health challenges and the strain of relentless work. At times, the intense pace of film sets, coupled with public scrutiny, took a toll, forcing him to step back and prioritize his well-being. These personal trials didn't derail him. They refined him. With time, Danny learned to balance ambition with self-care, understanding that longevity in show business requires more than just talent. It takes endurance, reflection, and heart. In addition to health challenges, DeVito has weathered personal losses and emotional setbacks. The death of loved ones and the collapse of certain creative ventures gave him a more nuanced perspective on life. Rather than weakening him, these moments instilled a deeper empathy and drive to connect with audiences. In facing grief and disappointment, DeVito embraced vulnerability and allowed it to fuel his work. He became not only a funny man, but a figure of resilience, a performer who could make you laugh while reminding you of life's fragility. DeVito's renaissance came in full force when he joined the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in 2006. His portrayal of the chaotic Frank Reynolds reintroduced him to a new generation of fans who marveled at his fearlessness and comedic timing. The show's irreverent tone suited him perfectly, and critics praised his willingness to take risks even after decades in the industry. Off-screen, his relationship with actress Rhea Perlman, though eventually evolving into separation, remained one of mutual admiration and respect. Together, they prioritized family and maintained a strong personal bond. Even now, in his 70s, Danny DeVito continues to be a creative force, directing, producing, acting, and mentoring. He participates in independent films, lends his voice to animated roles, and uses social media to share his signature blend of humor and insight. He has also become a vocal supporter of philanthropic causes, championing children's welfare, environmental protection, and social equity. His passion for storytelling remains undiminished, and his ability to blend outrageous comedy with emotional authenticity keeps him relevant across generations. Whether playing a penguin in Gotham or a sleazy businessman in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito remains a singular presence in entertainment. His longevity is not simply the result of fame, but of an unrelenting dedication to his craft, a deep understanding of the human spirit, and an abiding belief in the power of laughter. As he continues to surprise, delight, and inspire, DeVito stands as a testament to the enduring magic of storytelling and the strength found in both joy and hardship.
Por favor, hazme olvidarla. Hazme sentir que no es la única mujer.
A tragic roof collapse at the iconic Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo claimed the life of Rubby Pérez, one of the Dominican Republic's most beloved merengue legends, on April 8th. He was 69, known for his soaring voice and unforgettable hits like Volveré and El Africano. Rubby was performing for hundreds of fans when the accident occurred. His death has left the nation in mourning not just an artist, but a symbol of Dominican identity and joy. Born in Haina on March 8, 1956, Pérez initially dreamed of pursuing a career in baseball. But a horrific car accident as a young man left him with permanent injuries to his right leg, forcing him to give up the sport. To cope with the loss, he turned to music, first on guitar, then his voice. He began singing in the 1970s, later joining Wilfrido Vargas's famous orchestra, and eventually becoming a solo star with multiple award-winning albums and worldwide acclaim. Behind that success, however, was a man who had been through a lot. The physical pain from a childhood trauma never completely left him. His path to fame was long and uncertain, and the music industry sometimes offered little safety. Yet he never let adversity dim his spirit. His voice, passionate, powerful, and resilient, became a refuge not just for him, but for a generation. Thousands gathered at the National Theater to say their final goodbyes, candles burning under the Dominican flag and his image held aloft. The life of Rubby Pérez was one of triumph over tragedy, of music born of pain, and of love shared through song. His voice may be gone, but its echoes will forever resonate in the hearts of his people. Jeffrey Runnings, founding member, bassist, and vocalist of the cult dream pop post-punk band For Against, has passed away at the age of 61 after a courageous battle with stage 4 cancer. Known for his ethereal soundscapes, poignant lyrics, and unwavering devotion to music, Runnings leaves behind a deeply respected legacy within the indie music world. Born in Omaha, Nebraska in 1963, Runnings began his musical journey collecting vinyl and learning piano. A self-taught guitarist who played upside down due to being left-handed, he helped form For Against in Lincoln in 1984. The band's distinct sound, bridging British post-punk melancholy with atmospheric dream pop, earned their critical acclaim. Albums like Echelons, 1987, December, 1988, and Aperture, 1993, became underground staples, later lovingly reissued and celebrated by fans worldwide. Despite evolving band lineups and shifting musical landscapes, Runnings remains the heart of For Against for over 2 decades. His 2016 solo album Primitives and Smalls reveals even more of his introspective artistry. In 2024, during the final stretch of his illness, he completed Peaked, a solo LP set to be released this year, accompanied by rare recordings from the late 1980s, a final gift to the listeners who cherished his sound. Runnings passed away on March 3, 2025, surrounded by loved ones. He is survived by his husband, Sean, and a close-knit family. Beyond his haunting melodies, Jeffrey is remembered as a kind, generous soul who mailed mixtapes to friends and found joy in music, cats, and quiet moments. His voice, both literal and artistic, will echo far beyond his years. In the tender spring of his life, TikTok sensation Joshua Blackledge has passed away, leaving behind a digital world dimmer for his absence. Known to his more than 1 million followers as @F30 Josh H., Joshua was not just another rising star on social media. He was a young man defined by his energy, humor, and a passion for life that rippled beyond the screen. Whether revving up his white Ram truck or performing backflips with carefree ease, Joshua exuded the kind of joy one doesn't simply scroll past. A junior at West Carteret High School in Newport, North Carolina, Joshua's days were filled with wrestling matches, track meets, fishing trips, and heartfelt kitchen moments with his mother. He loved the roar of an engine, the calm of the water, and above all, the people who made his world feel like home. None more cherished than his girlfriend, Emmy Gillikin, whose tribute to him painted a portrait of first love, touched by grace and grief. The cause of Joshua's passing on March 18th remains undisclosed, a silence that only deepens the ache of those who mourn him. Friends and fans alike have poured out tributes, from tearful TikToks to stunned comments. His close friend Rustin Gambardella called him a brother, whose memory would live on in laughter and long drives. At his celebration of life held March 23rd at Camp Albemarle, those who knew him best gathered not to say goodbye, but to carry forward the spark he so generously lit. For a boy who loved backflips, perhaps it's fitting we remember him mid-air, frozen in time, full of life, just before he touched the sky. The powerful beats that once rocked the rock scene have been silenced. Les Binks, the drummer who helped define Judas Priest's golden era in the late 1970s, has died in a London hospital aged 73. His passing was confirmed by the band with deep sadness. Les's brilliant drumming, rich in technique, style, and sophistication, will forever be his legacy. Although the exact cause of death has not been revealed, his family said he passed away peacefully. Born on August 8, 1951, in Northern Ireland, Binks began his musical journey with bands such as The Animals and War before joining Judas Priest in 1977. In just 2 short years, he left an indelible mark on 3 iconic albums: Stained Class, Killing Machine, and the live album Unleashed in the East. His intricate double bass drumming on Take on the World became a signature of the genre, influencing generations of rock and metal musicians. But behind the glamour were real challenges. In 1979, Binks left the band after a dispute with management over unpaid contributions to a live album, a painful but principled decision. Despite the conflict, he never held any resentment toward his bandmates. In a touching reunion, he returned to perform with Judas Priest at the 2022 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, his first time on stage with them in 43 years. Les Binks may be gone, but his loss is deeply felt by fans around the world. His drumming, fiery, precise, and passionate, will forever resonate in the pulse of heavy metal, a silent farewell written in thunder. Jean Allison, the quietly radiant character actress whose career spanned over 3 dynamic decades of American television, has passed away at the age of 94. She died peacefully on February 28, 2024, in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, as confirmed by her family. Although her cause of death was not publicly disclosed, her legacy shines through the nearly 100 screen roles that earned her a place in the hearts of audiences and peers alike. Born in New York City on October 24, 1929, and raised in Tarrytown, Jean's artistic spark was ignited early. After graduating from Adelphi College and studying under acting legend Sanford Meisner, she was discovered on stage in Teach Me How to Cry. This launched her into a steady television career beginning with General Electric Theater in 1957. She became a familiar face in iconic series like Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Perry Mason, Charlie's Angels, and Emergency, where she grounded presence and emotional depth, elevated each role she touched. Beyond the spotlight, Jean experiences life's challenges with quiet strength. She weathered the end of 3 marriages, including to actor-director Lee Phillips and writer Jerry Boyd, aka FX Tool, of $1 Million Baby fame. Her final life chapter was marked by a tender, enduring companionship with cameraman Jack Kufer, whom she first met on the set of Edge of Fury in 1958 and remained close until his passing in 2021. Jean Allison is survived by her 3 children, Aaron, Sven, and Tina, who carry forward the love and artistry that defines her. Although she may no longer grace our screens, the warmth, wisdom, and resilience she brought to each performance will forever echo through the golden age of television.
I like the English news. In England, they don't find models, they find the most decrepit, inbred, twisted, freaky bastard you've ever...
Jim Short, a beloved star of the stand-up comedy world, has passed away at the age of 58 after battling a stomach-related illness. His death was confirmed by longtime friend and podcast co-host Margaret Cho, as well as photographer and collaborator Dan Dion. "We never got to resolve the thing, but I know you know I love you," Cho wrote in a moving tribute to the man she once described as the most important person in her life. Born in 1967 in Australia and relocating to Texas in 1979, Jim quickly rose through the ranks of the U.S. comedy scene with his sharp wit and intelligent humor. He won the prestigious San Francisco International Stand-Up Competition in 2004 and became a familiar face on major talk shows, including Late Show with David Letterman, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. He co-hosted the podcast Monsters of Talk with Cho, where they shared deep and often hilarious conversations about music, comedy, and life. Despite his success, Jim carried quiet struggles. Friends described him as a man with a huge heart, but skin too thin for Hollywood. A sensitive artist, he sometimes felt overwhelmed by the spotlight, but his love for comedy and his kindness to others never wavered. Jim Short's passing leaves a void in the comedy community and in the hearts of countless fans. The laughter he shared, warm, genuine, and irreplaceable, will echo on long after the curtain falls.
What have we here? Santa Claus, huh?
In the world of Broadway and animated classics, there are voices that are not merely heard, but deeply felt, resonating through time as timeless icons. Ken Page, the veteran performer with a mesmerizing baritone, passed away at the age of 70 on September 30th, 2024, at his home in St. Louis, Missouri. The news was confirmed by his agent, although no cause of death has been disclosed. Born in St. Louis in 1954, Ken Page began his artistic journey at the Mooney Theater, where he performed in over 45 productions and was delightfully known for the past decade as the voice of the Mooney. On Broadway, he made his mark as the Cowardly Lion in The Wiz, and most notably as Nicely Nicely Johnson in Guys and Dolls, where his rendition of "Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat" brought audiences to their feet. He became a defining presence in legendary musicals like Ain't Misbehavin' and Cats, where he originated the role of Old Deuteronomy, a performance that has become iconic. To millions around the globe, however, Ken Page is forever remembered as the spooky yet irresistible voice of Oogie Boogie in The Nightmare Before Christmas. His passion for performance knew no bounds. Not only did he lend his voice to the film, but he also took to the stage at live events, bringing Oogie Boogie's song to life time and time again. Ken Page leaves behind an irreplaceable legacy, a rare artist who turned his voice into a lasting treasure. He embodies passion, talent, and kindness, a true legend of the stage and screen. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the Pioneer Woman? For millions across America and beyond, it's Ree Drummond, a warm, witty, down-to-earth woman who turned everyday ranch life into a multimedia empire. Are you a fan of her recipes, her show, or her blog? We'd love to know. Drop a comment and share what you love most about Ree. From Oklahoma Plains to Food Network fame, her journey is as inspiring as it is relatable. Ree Drummond, affectionately known as the Pioneer Woman, has grown from a small-town blogger into one of the most beloved culinary and lifestyle personalities in America. With her trademark warmth, humor, and sincerity, Ree has welcomed millions into her world of ranch life, hearty cooking, and the simple joys of family. Her journey is a deeply personal one, rooted in her Oklahoma upbringing, expanded through her unexpected foray into writing, and shaped by love, loss, and a commitment to authenticity. Born Anne Marie Ree Smith on January 6, 1969 in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, Ree was one of 4 children in a tight-knit, supportive family. Her father, William Dale Smith, was an orthopedic surgeon, and her mother, Gara, was active in the community. Ree's early years were filled with creativity, travel, and a passion for writing. After graduating from Bartlesville High School, where she actively participated in school life and kept journals of her thoughts, she moved west to attend the University of Southern California. Initially drawn to journalism, she eventually earned a degree in gerontology, an unexpected choice that reflected her empathy and curiosity about people. Her years in Los Angeles expanded her worldview and introduced her to a fast-paced, cosmopolitan life. She considered law school, envisioning a career helping vulnerable populations. However, a visit home to Oklahoma altered her path. There, she met Lad Drummond, a 4th-generation rancher whose quiet strength and deep love for the land deeply resonated with her. Despite their differing backgrounds, the two married in 1996, building a life together on a working cattle ranch in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Adjusting to rural life wasn't easy, but Ree threw herself into ranch work and motherhood, raising their 4 children, Alex, Paige, Bryce, and Todd. As she managed the day-to-day demands of ranching and parenting, she sought a creative outlet. In 2006, she launched her blog, The Pioneer Woman, initially to keep friends and family updated. Her candid reflections on motherhood, marriage, food, and country living quickly attracted a broader audience who found her stories both relatable and refreshing. Though Ree lacked formal culinary training, her warm, step-by-step recipes, like cinnamon rolls, chicken fried steak, and pot roast, resonated with home cooks. The blog received multiple awards, including recognition from the Weblog Awards. In 2009, she published her first cookbook, The Pioneer Woman Cooks. Recipes from an accidental country girl, blending vivid photography, personal anecdotes, and delicious recipes. It became a bestseller and established her as a major figure in food media. Television soon came calling. In 2011, Ree debuted on Food Network with The Pioneer Woman, filmed on-site at her ranch. Her relatable demeanor and family-first perspective made the show an instant success. As her popularity soared, she expanded her empire to include children's books, such as Charlie the Ranch Dog, and home product lines featuring cookware, dinnerware, and textiles inspired by her rustic aesthetic. In 2016, Ree and her family opened The Mercantile, a combination restaurant, bakery, and general store in downtown Pawhuska, revitalizing the small town and drawing visitors from all over. She followed up with additional ventures, including a pizzeria, an ice cream shop, and a bed and breakfast called The Boarding House. These enterprises brought her lifestyle brand to life, giving fans a tangible piece of the pioneer woman experience. Despite her many successes, Ree has faced personal trials with transparency and grace. Her blog and social media posts often reflect on challenges such as weight management, the stress of balancing work and family, and the deep sorrow of losing loved ones. In 2021, her husband Ladd and nephew Caleb were injured in a fire truck collision while responding to a fire on their ranch. Ree leaned on her faith and community during that difficult time, keeping her audience informed and inspired. Loss has been a poignant part of Ree's story. Her brother Michael, who had special needs and was beloved by fans, passed away in 2021, a loss that deeply affected her. She also grieved the death of her mother-in-law, Nan Drummond, in 2018. Ree has written movingly about their impact on her life, especially Nan's influence on her cooking and values. Ree has also taken her health more seriously in recent years, publicly documenting her weight loss journey, lifestyle changes, and the importance of mental wellness. Rather than promoting a single approach, she emphasizes sustainable habits, portion control, and staying active. She encourages her followers to prioritize self-care and balance in their own lives. Through all the triumphs and tribulations, Ree has remained steadfast in her mission to share the real, unfiltered beauty of life, one recipe, one story, one heartfelt moment at a time. Her children are growing up, some attending college and starting their own careers, but Ree continues to cherish family dinners, everyday joys, and the serenity of ranch life. She maintains a vibrant presence on television and social media, posting new recipes, family updates, and behind-the-scenes peeks into her life. Her Instagram and blog serve as windows into her world, a blend of mother, wife, entrepreneur, and storyteller. Her interactions with fans are frequent and sincere, a testament to the loyal community she's built since 2006. Today, Ree Drummond stands as a symbol of authenticity and heart in a world of polished perfection. Her journey, from suburban teen to Los Angeles college grad, from ranch wife to media mogul, is a celebration of staying grounded, embracing the unexpected, and sharing one's truth with humility and humor. She proves that life's most meaningful moments often unfold in the kitchen, around a table, or beneath a wide Oklahoma sky,